Welcome to a new Cars Ireland video. Today we have the all-electric Audi e-Tron and we're going to do a range test. Now we're not going anywhere sexy or cool like the Wild Atlantic Way. We are going to travel around the very underappreciated Midlands of Ireland. We have planned out a route of 350 kilometres, which in theory this 55 e-Tron should deal with relative ease, as the up to quoted range is 436 kilometres. But my screen here in front of me says 286 kilometres of range at 95% charge. It's okay, we all shrink in the cold. It is only 6 degrees today, in fairness. Sinead has reviewed the e-Tron before, and if you would like to watch her much better review, please click on the link here. In order to be fully charged starting out, I signed up to this EasyGo charger. It charges at 50 kilowatts, so much quicker than your typical ESB one. Unfortunately, for some reason, it only charged to 95% this morning. It kept stopping at 95 and that's all it would give. So I started out with 230 kilometres of charged for 20 minutes, and it cost 43 cents per kilowatt hour. I must admit I was surprised at the cost. A small petrol would be cheaper to run. Let's get this road on the show. Right, we are approaching a toll, so we can test out every electric car's party piece, instant torque. Just need to pop it into dynamic mode to get the full 408 horsepower available on the overboost function. Hold your bits in, Tim, hold your bits in. That is the most fun thing about electric cars. No more fun for the rest of the day. Welcome to Nobber, the second stop on our journey. We have done, oh my God! So far we have done 90 kilometres and we have 209 kilometres left. So based on our starting point, I would have expected to have 193 kilometres left at this stage, but obviously we have the 209. We've gained a couple of kilometres. That little gain is all very good, but when I was planning this journey, I expected to have over 300 kilometres at this stage, which we're well off. We had planned on visiting Cavan, Longford, Roscommon, but I think we're going to have to adjust that and maybe decide on a different route. Then I'm going to pretend to have a discussion with Tim.
Okay.
And say, okay, we're back. Right, so we've decided we're going to head to Athlone to one of these brand new high-paced, high-speed chargers called Ionity chargers. Now, before we head on to Athlone, I might just point out a few bits around the cabin that came to mind. Unfortunately, this model does not have the virtual cameras. I might get Tim to put in a picture here because that's what you do. They would have a camera here and you'd be able to see out that way. That costs $2.5 grand to get them put in, and that's already quite a bit on top of a car that costs 100 grand. I do like the design of the little gear shifter down here. You just slide it forward and back and it's sort of a sandwich shape. It's very sleek. You do also get a nice little phone holder down here with wireless charging. It clips into a little clip and you can't see it, so it keeps you from getting distracted and looking away from the road, which you should never do. A nice little feature is when you press the aircon on, the range goes down. When you turn it off, it goes up. So range goes up, range goes down, range goes up, range goes down, range goes up, range goes down, range goes up, range goes up. Oh, there's also this great little feature on the reversing camera, which when you search here and pop it in reverse, you get the camera view up here, you click the menu and you can actually clean your reversing camera. Very handy. Right, so we're off to Athlone. It's about 120 kilometres away. We have 200 kilometres of range left. We'll see you there. Okay, so driving. The first thing that will hit you is you sit quite a bit lower than you would expect. You would expect to be that bit higher, that kind of SUV style, but you don't quite get that here. In terms of handling, it's okay. It does want to wash wide when you are a bit too ambitious in the corners, and you will have to brake quite a bit earlier than you would expect. That is thanks to its considerable heft. It weighs over 2,500 kilos starting out. That's before you put me and Tim in, and I think Tim weighs 120 kilos. It also has this massive and, in my eyes, quite ugly steering wheel, and it really helps to build on those bus vibes. So sporty handling is not a strong point, but anyone who buys this car probably won't care. Thanks to air suspension all around, it has actually proven very comfortable on this journey. No pains, all good. Very good, in fact. Right, we have arrived in Athlone. We did 120 kilometers, but only lost 94 kilometers of range. We have 106 kilometers of range left. We're here at the Ionity charger. That can charge an e-Tron at 150 kilowatt hours. So hopefully we should have up to 80% of charge within, I don't know, 20-25 minutes. We're gonna get some food and then we'll get back on the road to our next destination. So it turns out these Ionity chargers are pretty damn good. We went from 25% charge to 100% charge in 20 minutes. So from 100 kilometers of range left to now having 327, which is more than we started with this morning. I suppose the only real downside is cost here. It's 79 cents per kilowatt hour. We downloaded 63 kilowatts in our 20 minutes, and that will cost about 50 euro. So it really is a pay to play. Welcome to Blue Ball, County Offaly, and I can assure you it is not as uncomfortable as it sounds. We drove about 32 kilometers to get here and lost something similar on the range. We have 295 kilometers left, and now we're going to head on to our final stop and then back to the Kinnegad Plaza. Right, we're done. We're back to where we started, and to summarise, we did 297 kilometres, we drove for 5 hours 35 minutes, averaged 53 kilometres an hour, and consumed 26.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres. Obviously that bit under 300 kilometres is quite a bit less than what we had initially intended. We were going to do 350 kilometres and hope that a full range would have got us there. That was never a chance. And we were miles off the quoted range from Audi of 446 kilometres. That was a million miles away, or kilometres away. Now I am a big fan of the fast chargers. They actually seem to make a lot of sense, but as we pointed out earlier, they are expensive, like way more expensive than petrol and diesel, which is probably the future we have, but I don't know, that's what we're going to have to deal with. That cost actually diminishes the appeal of electric cars in my eyes. The sacrifice is considerable, and if you're not a natural planner, electric cars are not for you. I'm not a planner. Today was a bit of a pain, but we got there in the end. Also, I'm kind of struggling to see the appeal of an e-Tron over, say, a Q5, which does everything better, really, and is a hell of a lot cheaper. You're talking 50, 60 grand for a Q5, 100 grand for this particular model. Of course, then there's the question of how many chargers would we need if lots more people got electric cars? I think you'd need them everywhere. It'd be mind-boggling. They'd have to be in every spot, everywhere, just to keep the world moving. Also, does Ireland have the capacity to deal with the amount of electricity demanded from all these cars? I think if you had a charger at home, you had a charger at work, and a second car that runs on petrol or diesel, you could definitely make it work, the electric cars. Other than that, I'm not so sure. If you would like to search for e-Trons on CarsIreland.ie, please click on the link above that we will put in here now. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.